Haunted Hotel is the new shooting dark ride at Funtown, USA. Even though this may be a smaller park, this is an impressively well-themed ride. So much so that I think it immediately became the best dark ride in all of New England. I will explain why in this review. From 1986 to 1996, Funtown was home to the Haunted Mansion. This was a haunted walkthrough, but it was closed due to high operating costs and high fear levels. Rather than demolishing this attraction, the park interestingly found it more cost-effective to burn it to the ground. Flash forward to 2022. Funtown announced they would add a successor of sorts with Haunted Hotel. This would be a shooting dark ride with some creepy elements, but it would be designed with families in mind. The ride would be supplied by Bertazon, but Sally Dark Rides handled the theming and set design. This was a very big ride for the park. They nearly closed in 2020 after closing for a full season due to the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. And it had been a long time since they added something new. Their last addition was the Mount Olympus Water Slide Tower back in 2012. The last time they added something to the dry park was Wild Mouse back in 2009, and that was a relocation bought secondhand. The last time the dry park bought an all-new ride was Dragon's Descent way back in 2001. So I think it's safe to say the park saved up for this one. No monetary figures have been released, but I suspect this may be the most expensive ride added in the park's history, outside of maybe Excalibur. I am making that guess based off the ride system, set pieces, and quantity of animatronics. Haunted Hotel opened in August of 2023, towards the very end of the park's operating season, but the wait was well worth it. The park hit a home run with this ride. For the most part, Funtown is a true amusement park. There isn't too much theming here, although the attractions they have added over the past 30 years do have small snippets of theming. Haunted Hotel is very well themed by contrast. It is located in a former arcade next to Wild Mouse, but you would never know that. There is a creepy cottage and warped tree in the foreground. Then the main building itself is themed to the Haunted Whispering Pines Hotel. This is a delightfully decrepit building with damaged brickwork, peeled paint, slanted windows, and overgrown vines, and the green and purple color palette gives an ominous vibe. One unfortunate thing that I noticed is that the park themed the ride so well that some people did not realize it was a ride when they walked past it. The exterior does not state Haunted Hotel or ride entrance anywhere. You just have a sign for the Whispering Pines Hotel and one doorway off to the side that says check-in. The ride's entire queue line is held indoors, which further might shield that it's a ride, but it does feel great in those hot summer days. You first pass a lobby area. This then leads to a room with a nice looking animatronic. Dr. Theodora Gibbs of Professional Curse Eradicators explains the ride's backstory. The hotel's land was once home to a witch's cottage, but she was forcibly evicted. I believe that aforementioned cottage outside the attraction is meant to be hers. As revenge, she placed a curse in the land. Multiple hotel guests have vanished into the mysterious Dimension Dark X. Riders are tasked with the challenge of locating them and freeing them from the witch's curse. One of the missing guests is named Sally Rider, an ode to the manufacturer. I am not sure if the other two guests, Todd Michaels and Matthew Jones, also have a hidden meaning. If anyone knows if they do, definitely let me know down in the comments. I wish this animatronic came a bit later in the queue, so people are guaranteed to hear this story in quieter days, but you are free to stay back and listen if you'd like. The rest of the queue is atmospheric with darkened lighting and ominous music. If it's full, the whole queue takes roughly 20 to 25 minutes to complete. In my recent weekday visit, the ride had a 15 to 20 minute wait in the late morning and early afternoon. A lot of guests went here early because it's towards the front of the park, and it's new, but the wait was halved by the second half of the day. This ride has decent capacity relative to the park's other rides. Each car has 2 rows of 2, seating a max of 4 riders, and there are several cars on the course at once. From what I saw, the park typically gives each individual party their own car. One note if you're solo: there is a sign by the ride's entrance stating that single riders are not allowed, which I was not expecting to see. But some clarification: adults are allowed to ride alone, but not kids. This same rule is on a few other rides at Funtown USA, such as Thunder Falls Log Flume. This is a fairly new rule, as I used to ride this flume alone as a kid growing up. Riders are restrained by a lap bar. This is not intrusive. Then each guest gets their own curse eradicator. This is a stick with a button on it. It functions as a gun. It is light and ergonomic. I do wish those guns had better feedback. They do not have laser sights like other dark rides. They instead vibrate anytime you fire. I would have preferred they vibrate whenever you hit a target instead. This is especially true because a few targets didn't seem to work, but this issue is mostly contained to one room. The way to tell you've hit something is if the target light changes colors and the scene reacts in some way. The latter is a cool feature that encourages you to locate all targets, rather than spamming the same one over and over. Now let's walk through the layout. You start by plowing through some doors. In front of you, you see signs for the lost guests once again, and 4 photo frames. These are digital pictures that change faces whenever you hit a target. You then turn towards the front desk, meeting Eleanor, the hotel owner. This is a physical set that captures the feel of a small bed and breakfast. And the older woman animatronic looks great. There are a few targets here as well. You then proceed into the most impressive room on the ride for me. It is meant to be the hotel hallway. It has a beautiful blend of practical sets and screens. There's a staircase with all sorts of targets. Behind is a video screen with a stained glass window. It shatters to reveal the witch's face. You then pass a levitating chair and a grandfather clock with the witch's cat poking out. Then there's a fireplace. The fire itself and mirror above it are both possessed by apparitions. Both are conveyed via video. Lastly, you pass a small table and these large windows. The latter are video screens showing these demonic creatures in a thunderstorm. They sort of remind me of the monsters from the live-action Scooby-Doo film. You then head into your room. In front of you, there's a couch and a mirror. But most impressively, the wall behind that is a video screen. The painting cracks and green slime starts oozing down the wall. You then pass a closet, suitcases, and bed, all of which are home to practical ghouls that lunge towards you. And along the way, there are a handful of targets to hit. You then see Eleanor in front of you. She advises you to turn around immediately, but instead, she fades away and is replaced by a glowing blue orb representing Dimension Dark X. Both her and riders are sucked into Dimension Dark X. The next scene has some large doors off to the side shaking. There are targets atop these, but these did not seem to work on any of my rides. At the end of the hallway, there is a video screen. The witch appears, and this is pretty unnerving. She has a menacing cackle, and one eye is larger than the other. That eye then bursts into a blue electrified orb. You then turn the corner and enter Dimension Dark X. This is a dark room with these twinkling lights with smoke pumped into it. Depth is added by some rotating mirrors. This is a simple effect, but it works, and it can be seen from the security cameras above the operator booth. And off to the side, you have the witch's demonic bat and frog standing on pedestals. You then proceed forward and see the witch animatronic. This was featured at IAAPA 2 years ago, and it looks great. You then turn left and see multicolored projections of 3 trapped guests in Eleanor. They then return to their human form, signifying you have rescued them. You then pass through a holographic screen of the witch and seemingly escape Dimension Dark X as Eleanor congratulates you. But on the way back to the station, there is one last jump scare. I could see it from a mile away though, but it did get a few kids. There's this loud bang, and the demon kitty slightly moves towards you. This coincides with the on-ride photo, which is a brilliant choice. You then return to the unload platform, ending the experience. It is just under 3 minutes in length. That's not super long for a dark ride, especially a shooting dark ride, but the duration is more than satisfactory for me. So, what would I rate the Haunted Hotel? I would give this ride a 9 out of 10. This is an excellent dark ride, especially given it's at a regional amusement park. The ride has a thoughtful backstory and is carried through the entire attraction. The set pieces are a nice blend of physical and screens. It is so well balanced. These are so well done that I think you could remove the shooting element and still have a good overall ride. But the interactive nature definitely gives this a lot of re-ride value, especially because different targets seem to cause the scenes to respond differently. The only reason this does not get a perfect score is because of the feedback system and the length relative to other dark rides. But this is definitely the best dark ride in all of New England, and I cannot miss attraction whenever you're at Funtown. So those are my thoughts on the Haunted Hotel. What are your thoughts on this ride? Do you love it as much as me? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.